Terence Crawford says, "What do y'all want me to do? I'm trying my hardest to make the Spence fight." Alright, y'all, it's your boy Cardinal Red Sports. Let's talk about it. So, Terence Crawford, as a lot of people like to call him, I really don't like using that word. You know, I'm not a bully to these guys. I don't want to be a bully to these guys. I just want to speak facts on what's going on with the sport of boxing. And I kind of feel like when you start using these weird nicknames and stuff to describe people, you're kind of playing a hater's game at that point. So Terence Crawford says he's trying his hardest to make the Errol Spence Jr. fight. Is that true or not? Is what he's done the best he can do to make that fight? Is him negotiating with Errol Spence for 6 or 7 months supposedly the best he could do to actually make that fight? Or is Terence Crawford feeling the frustration of trying to be his own promoter? Me personally, I believe he did not do everything in his power to make the fight, because if you listen to his own words and the fact that he said he had been talking to BLK Prime since June or July, that means he wasn't completely focused on making that Errol Spence Jr. fight. He was focused on what was going to bring him the most money. Now, is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? Depends on who you ask and how you look at the situation. It's a good thing because you want boxers to be compensated for their hard work and their entertainment value when it comes to the fans. But you also, as a fan, don't want to get ripped off by these fighters and these promoters. It seems more like Terence Crawford is just into high dollar signs because of Bob Arum and, you know, the favoritism he got from Top Rank. He's used to a certain amount of luxury when it comes to boxing contracts or negotiating. Perhaps he's even unaware of the real process because Bob Arum was handling most of that. And the fact that most of his fights were not against the toughest competition. That's at 147. I won't speak about 140 because he unified all titles at 140. So you can't say he didn't fight a decent level of competition at 140 because he had to get all titles. So he gets A+ for that one at 140. But at 147, it seems more like Bob Arum fed him a lot of easy fights. He kind of got used to that, and he got paid extremely well or even overpaid for those fights. And it seems like now that he has to face some tough competition, you know, in Errol Spence Jr. and the new crop of welterweights, his thing is, well, I want those high dollar amounts. I want them Manny Pacquiao numbers. I want them Floyd Mayweather numbers. It's two factors in that as far as the money goes. It's the fact that boxing isn't the same. Pay-per-views are not selling the way they were when those two guys were very popular. So he's not living within today's times. He's not living within the here and right now. He's living within a fantasy world that he's trying to create for himself. And by not taking the Errol Spence Jr. fight, it basically shows that he's not trying his best to make that fight. I mean, the fact that you would go with David Avanesyan for $10 million, I mean, how much less could they have been offering Terence Crawford than the $10 million payout that he's going to get for the David Avanesyan fight? There's no way that they could have offered him anything less than $10 million. But the fact of the matter is, I think he chose David Avanesyan because it's a simpler fight. It's an easier fight on his accord. It has really nothing to do with the money. The money's important, but would you rather face Errol Spence for $10 million or would you rather get a gimme fight in David Avanesyan for $10 million? So they might have offered him the same thing that he's getting for the Avanesyan fight. This is why I think Errol Spence wanted him to show the terms of the contract, because it would have proved that he sidestepped that fight for really no reason. He was probably going to end up getting a little bit more, maybe $2, $3, $4 million more than the David Avanesyan fight. It's just the competition level is higher. And the fact of the matter is, I think Errol Spence and PBC understand the business model of today, which is pay-per-views don't sell that well. We have to make our money in different ways. We have to find new ways to promote ourselves and make ourselves more popular, because that's how we're going to make more money. And by accepting easy challenges, it's not going to put us in the position that we want to be in, and it's actually going to hinder everything that we're trying to accomplish when it comes to making more money or making the best fights within the sport of boxing. Terence Crawford definitely did not try his best to make the Errol Spence Jr. fight, and he's proven that he's a horrible promoter. He's not even promoting his own fight. I think I've seen one commercial, a Twitter commercial, for the David Avanesyan fight. On the other hand, if you think about it from Terence Crawford's standpoint, he doesn't need to. Why waste time? Why keep talking about this fight that nobody really wants to see? I've already signed a contract for $10 million. All I got to do is show up and beat this guy. So talking about that fight really serves no purpose. It's not going to sell more by Terence Crawford getting in front of fans and trying to sell something that's unsellable. It's just not going to work. That fight is going to flop as far as pay-per-view numbers go. But in all honesty, what fight nowadays doesn't flop when it comes to pay-per-view numbers, unless your name is Canelo, Errol Spence Jr., somewhere along those lines? Then you'll probably more than likely get a lot of eyeballs watching your fight. When it comes to the average fighter, even though Terence Crawford's above average, he's not above average in popularity, fight sales, or social media presence, or social media following. And I definitely think that in the near future, it's going to hurt Terence Crawford in the future when it comes to trying to get bigger, better fights. Now, of course, the young guns are going to want to fight him because his name is bigger than their name, but are fans willing to keep investing in Terence Crawford knowing he doesn't have their best interests at heart? He's really just in it for the money at this point. Nothing wrong with that, once again, but don't paint yourself as someone trying to make the sport better, or someone trying to get the best fights, or someone who's in it for legacy, when you're really just in it for the money. Don't put out statements like, I don't know what else I could do, I'm trying my best, when everybody can see you're not trying your best, because trying your best would have been just signing the contract that was offered to you. Whether the contract was financially lucrative for you right now or not, that really doesn't matter, because we all know the rematch is where the money's going to be made for the B-side. It's up to the B-side to win the fight, and then in the rematch, the B-side will get paid more. Just is what it is. But Terence Crawford, I think, he's more of a diva, and Terence Crawford has a bad sense of business when it comes to boxing. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that down in the comment section below. Did Terence Crawford do everything he could to make Errol Spence Jr. fight, or is he just blowing smoke? It's your boy Cardinal Red. Holler at me on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. You're more than likely to get a response on the tube. Holler at me over there. And we are money.
It's your boy Keys, neighborhood employee. Niggas knew that I was coming with fire. Y'all ain't up to my pie and up under a car. Your head under a tie, it's the S and the I. Player, we supposed to win. I'm in the booth focusing with coke in hand. Dude hate it when you see the chief running in. Ass mouth hurting like his wisdom teeth coming in. Now that's a roundhouse kick. Come round your house, letting rounds out quick. From Newburgh to downtown, it's that Midwest to down south shit. Y'all ain't fucking with.
She chillin', saying tryna put the feel on the mouth. What's good? She nothing, saying tryna show his niggas how to rap.